Steve Ranks at 425. It's where we live. Today is midsummer and it's pretty exciting. It's an awesome day. Really looking forward to an outstanding summer day today. Hockey season's coming, and although many players have been on the ice all year round, it really begins in earnest. And of course, the schedules and everything starts very soon. And I'm privileged to have Connor Armour from the Pickering Panthers with me today. Looking forward to a great conversation with the head coach of the Pickering Panthers, OJHL Junior A team. Today's guest at Exit 425.
In the main corridor of Exit 425.
Local politicians to connect with families.
What are some unique challenges?
Thanks very much, Steve, for having me.
Exit 425. It's where we live. Connor, welcome, and thanks for meeting me here at Exit 425.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Steve. I'm really looking forward to it.
Connor, you're new to Pickering, but not new to the OJHL or elite hockey. How did you come to be the coach of the Panthers?
Yeah, so I was in Coburg the last 3 years and had some really good teams there. And, obviously I feel very fortunate to be able to coach at this level. And at the end of the season and playoffs with Coburg, Sean Myers, who's the GM, had reached out to me and told me there could be a possibility to coach in Pickering, and Coburg was going through an ownership change, and I just felt a little bit of uncertainty there. So I had some great discussions with Sean and ownership in Pickering, and it looked like it was a good fit for both sides. So I jumped in, and I'm really excited for the opportunity.
That's awesome. You work at that level with some very talented and driven athletes and hockey players. When you have such talented and skilled players, do you even bother with skills in practice, or is it all team tactics?
No, a lot of our practices are skills. I would say if I were to put a number on it, I'd say you're looking at probably 80% skills, 20% tactics. Now, that changes depending on where we're at in the season. At the start of the season, we probably do a lot more tactics and systems and just to get guys prepared and so that we have an organized hockey team. And I think you have to be able to play within structure. I'm a big believer. If you don't have structure, you can't play quick. And we want to play quick and we want to play fast, and we want to be organized out there. So sometimes it's okay to be predictable, and I tell our guys that it's okay to be predictable. We can play fast within that, but it's a lot of skills. It's a lot of small area games. Our practices once a week. Usually, I'll just do small area games, and guys will compete against each other, and that's where I think we're really working on individual skills for these guys. And the other part of it too is I find, and I've seen it be very true. Like if you don't have certain skills, you can't. The tactics and the systems don't mean much. So habits are a big thing, like sticks, having good sticks, good angles. If we don't, work on those little habits and those skills, then come time to play within our structure and our tactics, we can't execute. So I find they go hand in hand, but we want to focus on a lot of skill and development with our guys, and then again, come playoff time, we really dial it in as far as tactics, and that's when you get into a bit of a chess match as far as pre-scouts and knowing your opponent and kind of how you're going to play against that team.
When the players have the skills, then if there's a new situation that they find themselves in, or a player that they have to get past or defend against, then they can improvise. And if you don't have the skills, you can't improvise quite as well, can you? So
exactly.
And when you talk about the drills that require the skills, I've been with a lot of teams where a coach is running a breakout drill and nobody can pass. So
Yeah.
So some solid drill killers there. So
yeah, no, absolutely. And at the end of the day, I think hockey's so fast and it's so unpredictable. You have to be able to read and react, and that's the biggest thing that we encourage our guys to do is make plays. Like ultimately, like we're on the bench, the players see it through their eyes, right? And sometimes you have to trust that. Is there things that as a coach to player, there's non-negotiables as far as the way we want to play? Yes, but at the end of the day, they have to make those reads out there, and they got to make the plays, and we encourage them to make plays. And it's a fast sport, as we all know.
What's the number one thing that players need to do to improve their chances of playing at top level in hockey? And maybe you can toss in number 2 and 3 as well.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing, Steve, is compete. It's a word that gets tossed out all the time, but there's a reason why it gets tossed out all the time. It's very obvious when we go watch players, when we're recruiting, whether it be via video or in person, at compete level, it stands out right away, right? And there's a lot of skilled hockey players out there that lack the compete, and sometimes it's not worth it. So competing is the biggest one. Everyone has to be able to skate nowadays, especially as you climb the ranks. And in the NHL, there's not many guys left that can't skate. Every guy's a good skater. So I would say that's probably number 2. And it just comes back to you have to do something that you're going to stand out. And when we go watch players. There's a lot of hockey players out there. So, and there's a lot of hockey games going on. You have to do something to separate yourself from the other guys and get noticed. And whether that be being physical or obviously scoring goals. Every coach loves a goal scorer, but you have to do something that's going to make yourself stand out.
So aside from the critically important things of being a competitor and having some skill, especially with skating, how can players gain the attention of CJHL coaches in Pickering, the OJ, or other junior levels in hockey? What are the things that hey Connor, I'm pretty good. Can you come out and see me? How do they reach out to you?
Yeah. I think we do have people and players that send videos in, and we'll send emails for them to be recruited, and that's great. Ultimately, I say it all the time: if you're good enough, you'll be found. It's just a matter of sticking with it, and I think obviously the landscape's starting to change with junior hockey and the CHL and the NCAA, and there's we're kind of entering some uncharted waters, and it'll be interesting to see how everything kind of unfolds. And my hope is that players continue to play hockey and that they don't lose interest because of kind of how everything's shifting. And maybe there's concern that out of junior A there's not going to be as many scholarships now that NCAA schools can recruit from the CHL. So I would say, ultimately they just have to stay with it and continue to playing hockey at a high level. And like I said, there's a lot of good hockey players out there, and if you're good enough, you'll be found. And especially in the Durham area, more specifically, like it's a hotbed for hockey players. Like there's a lot of good teams. A lot of good coaches that are doing really good jobs with these minor hockey teams that, I think the minor hockey coaches don't get enough credit around here. They really do a lot of work. And now that I'm in coaching, it's some days are pretty tough. So, they've done a great job in this area. And I'd say the biggest thing is just stick with it and be a good person. That's another huge thing. I tell our guys, like, as much as I want them to be good hockey players, when they leave Pickering, I want them to be a good person that can contribute to society and go on to do good things in life.
On the other end of things, how do you promote your players to CHL, U Sports, and NCAA teams?
Yeah, we're constantly connecting, and it's a lot of phone calls. That's what I've come to realize over the last 2-3 years. And my wife can attest to this. I'm constantly on the phone, and whether that be with schools or advisors or just connecting with people. And I think that's how we do a good job of promoting, is we're constantly in contact with OHL teams, NCAA teams. Even if 20-year-olds want to bypass the whole college route and go pro, we've had players that have looked into that as well, and we're willing to explore that and help those players as much as we can. So that's probably the best way in building these relationships. I'll circle back to him coming to Pickering as the head coach. Me and Sean we had spoken a few times prior to me being interviewed for the Pickering job, and that was just a relationship that I made a couple of years ago between me and Sean, and we would talk every now and then, and it kind of played itself out. So for us in Pickering, we're really big on pushing guys to get to that next level and getting to where they want to be. And again, there's a lot of uncertainty with how everything's shaping up with the CHL and the NCAA. So we're going to try and help as much as we can and get those guys to the next level.
How can a young player, whatever age they might be at, do as they approach, say, high school, to catch the attention of a college program? Are you involved or watch spring and summer hockey? Is endless programming a good idea, like 12 months a year on the ice sort of thing? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm not huge on guys, and again, everyone's different, and whatever works for that person or player, your family for that matter. I'm not huge on guys being on the ice 12 months a year. I worry about burnout, and I see it so much nowadays where it's even I run some skates here in Durham, and some of the guys are coming from skates to come to my skate, and they're on the ice, 2-3 times a day in the summertime, and it's just, I think there's a balance. I think sometimes guys can get caught up in thinking that they're just a hockey player. And I think that there's more to these guys, and there's some layers here as far as there's a person, behind that hockey player. It's okay to have other interests. It's okay to, if you're into music, be into music, whatever the case may be, and not just strictly hockey. I think there's a good time to kind of unwind and put that the hockey stuff aside, and then amp it up in August and around training camp and come in prepared and ready. But to get back to your question, I think that it's to each their own. Like you got to kind of do what you think is best and what you think works. But ultimately, it's you got to make sure you're taking the right courses as well. That's a big thing if you want to go that NCAA route, and making sure you're in the university courses, not the college courses. So just making sure that you're doing the right stuff, and then, like I said, if you're good enough, you'll be found. And these showcases, there's always people watching, and I think you put the work in, and usually good things will come from it, and you'll get what you want.
How do you pick your captains? And is the captain always the best player on the team, or are the alternates among the best players on the team? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think they're not always the best player. You find guys that carry good leadership qualities, and guys that the team seem to gravitate towards. And for me, coming into this situation in Pickering, it's a little bit different because I'm not too familiar with the guys on that roster. And we do have a captain selected, and he's an older guy. He's a 20-year-old who's played in this league for a few years. Very good leadership qualities, who the guys I think will rally around. And but as a whole, it's usually an older guy because they're experienced. They've been through some stuff. You have to find guys that are willing to tug the rope the right way and not against you, because it's a long season. I know by January, February, March, I know they're getting tired of hearing me, and that captain and leadership group needs to almost be like a buffer between the coaches and the players. And I'm going to rely on our leadership group, and I did in Coburg as well, pretty heavily. It's getting, and I think it's no different than the work than the work world and employees, and it goes for coaching. And it's what I found in the last couple of years. And it's not a knock on the players and the generation or anything like that, but and I'm sure employers will say this too, it's getting harder and harder to find kids and employees, for that matter, that are willing to do the things you want them to. So you have to find the right guy, captain or assistant captain, that is, gonna on a Tuesday practice is gonna pull guys into the battle and make sure we're all competing, we're all on the same page. So um, that's usually the thought process that goes into picking captains and a leadership group. And um, it's cliche, but there's lots of leaders that aren't captains, and maybe they come over from a trade that they're an older guy. Then just because they're not wearing a letter on their jersey doesn't mean they're not a leader.
Right. You're now the new coach of a franchise that's had some amazing success, ownership changes, coaching ups and downs, all in the last few years. So what's your game plan as coach as camp starts up August 18th, I think you indicated, and the season gets going here?
Yeah, we're excited as a staff. We've been talking here almost every day, and we're ready to hit the ground running here. And I think we're going to expect to be prepared. We're going to be organized, and we're going to work hard every day. And it's like you said, we start August 18th. We have a couple exhibition games in that time frame before our season opener. And that'll be, like I said at the start, there will be a lot of systems and tactics, and also just getting the guys timing back and getting some good reps in practice and some video, and just kind of gelling the whole team together and coming together as a team. And like I said, we're going to be ready to go come August 18th, and we're really looking forward to it.
What's the thing that you're looking forward to the most this season?
Oof, that's a good question. I think I love seeing players develop throughout the season. I think if I could pin it down to one thing, it's always rewarding when you see a player come in September or August, and at the end of the season, you're kind of reflecting how things went, and kind of doing some valuations of how the year went and certain players' season went. And when you see a guy come in who's pretty raw and young, and to see at the end of the season him improve, that's I always look forward to that challenge. I look forward to hopefully being in the playoff mix and playoffs. Playoffs are the best time of year. I was fortunate enough to go. We went on a pretty good playoff run 2 years ago in Coburg and made it to the conference finals, and that's to the date been the best, most fun probably I've had as a coach. And even going back as a player when I played, it was just a lot of fun to be in that situation. And ultimately, I'd say playoffs I look forward to the most, but that's never guaranteed. So I'll go with seeing guys develop and mature.
And that's the daily grind, right? Is just watching those young people develop and gain confidence and skill and all the things that you're looking for. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Connor, thanks for meeting me here at Exit 425. And how can people reach out to you, and where can they find the schedule and information about attending games?
Yeah, you can reach out to our. We have an email on the website, pickeringpanthers.com. There's an email on there that I check, and Sean checks as well, that you can reach out to, and our schedule will be on there as well. Obviously, we look forward to seeing fans in Pickering, and it's exciting hockey. If I can encourage people to come out and see for yourself, it really is exciting hockey. I don't think it gets as much attention as it should. There's a lot of good hockey players in this league that go on to play NCAA. There's NHL draft picks coming out of our league. It's a good caliber hockey. So I encourage people to come to the game and check it out, and don't be shy to if you do, to come say hi. That's where you can reach out to me, and I'd give you my Instagram handle, but it's mostly just me posting pictures of my newborn right now. So it's not too exciting to anyone else. I'm sure people are sick of it. So,
well, for the right people, it's exciting. So that's
exactly.
that's good. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today and to share your thoughts about these different things. And good luck in the season. Hoping at some point I'll actually be across the ice from you. I sub as a PA announcer for Pickering sometimes, so hopefully I'll be able to cheer you on from that vantage point as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Steve, and thank you for the work you do as well.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.